Hello everyone, it's Mohsen from Microsoft Zero to Hero. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from everywhere you are. I'm so happy to here with another session. Before to start the session, I wanna to share some slide with you. Let me share my screen. Yeah, today we have Mykola. He wants to talk about the document, processing a document with Azure services. And I think the topic is very interesting. And I think the session is very good. The next topic is a Microsoft Learn. I think you are familiar with Microsoft Learn, a collection of content of learning about the Microsoft technology, Azure technology, new feature, or a lot of things you can join to Microsoft Learn community with aka.ms Microsoft Learn community. As you know, Microsoft Zero to Hero is part of Microsoft Learn community. Join us. We are channel. We are a lot of topic or presentation every Saturday session or many content you can join. And we have two calendar. This is a June. We have the two session in the June, and all of previous session was recorded and uploaded on the our video YouTube channel. Also the July calendar is shared in our social media channel. And the last slide is our code of conduct. Be aware of other, be friendly and passionate, be welcoming and respectful, be open, all question and viewpoint, be understanding of different, be kind and consider to other in the chat, in the comment or other things. Now it's the time to add Mykola to a stage. Hello again, Mykola.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, thank
How's
you
it
very
going?
much.
Everything is fine?
Yes, because today is a Saturday, so it is a really good.
Yeah.
Good weather, good day. So I'm ready for presentation. Hopefully, will
Nice,
be
great.
good.
I think everything is fine for a great presentation,
Yes.
and we are ready. And actually, for all guys, you can ask your question in the comment. End of the session, Makolo answer your question, and yeah, the stage is yours.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, go ahead.
Great. So, hello everyone. My name is Mykola Kolomiiets. I'm solution architect at Nix, and today I will present you and share with you processing documents, how we can process documents by Azure services, and it is a parsing the document, using AI tools, AI services, and build infrastructure around the AI. So our agenda, it is, we will touch a little bit all services from Azure in AI world, I mean, and we'll talk a little bit more about Azure AI Document Intelligence, because in this presentation, it is a root service, it is our heart here, and I will explain how we can use this service and what is the possibilities from this service we have. Also, we will talk about pipeline architecture with a serverless approach. It is a different combination of the architecture that we have, patterns together, and for build strong and really scalability and stable system. And it is really helpful and nice. And we'll summarize a little bit. So today we maybe hear AI, Azure AI from everywhere. all of us, we are talking about AI, how to integrate AI in the business, how to integrate AI in the development process. And here I try to explain that it is not a big deal to do this. And only one point that we need to keep in the mind, it is understand how we can improve business with the AI services. And especially from this description, from this presentation, I hope you will see more information about AI services and possibilities of the AI service, because it is really big list of the services we have here, and it is a really can help you, help your business, help your customers be happy, because a lot of the services is already and you just can use it. And what is a why we need to choose Azure AI services? Why, how it can help you, and what is the approaches? First of all, it is as a accessibility and easy to of use. It means that you can start use your AI in your business, in your project, really by the really easy. Why it is easy? Because almost all of the services, it is a really just interface. It is just an API that you can start use, and you don't need to know about how data sciences work. You don't need to know about algorithms, mathematics, and so on. You just start to use it, and you don't need to learn a lot of the stuff before integration this AI in your project. So you can just start use it. You can see documentation about this service. It is just a simple API requests, some data structure in input and data structure in output. So it is a really easy to do. And second point here, that you don't need to prepare a lot of the data set data for training the new model, because big challenge to start use AI in the project. It is a preparing data set, it is a preparing infrastructure, it is a preparing a lot of the stuff around the AI. And sometimes we are losing a lot of the time for doing this stuff, instead focusing on the business, instead of focusing on the project needs. And in this case, Azure AI services can help you to start easily, to start faster. Next point, it is scalability. Scalability is a big challenge, because of course we need to ready that you will have a lot of the users, you can have a lot of the requests. And again, a big challenge to create a infrastructure around the model, to be ready that count of the requests can be big than you expect. And Azure AI and Azure can help you to be ready for that, and it can scale as you need. Of course, by quotas, by some limits that is described in the documentation, so you really know what you can expect from this service, and you can handle it if needed. Next point, it is a wide range of services. Azure provides you a lot of the areas that you can use AI. It is from machine learning stuff. So Azure can help you to build pipeline, to build a machine learning ML ops pipeline, to create your own model and to host your own model. It is a first step, and continue. Next services that Azure provides to us, it is a cognitive service, it is bot services. So it is a lot of different type of the services, from the scratch to the SaaS products, SaaS services. So you can choose what exactly you need in your case, in your business, in your project. Integration and interoperability, it is more about that services in the Azure really easily to configure together. So you can build both service and community service by the easy way. You need to configure few things and the services can work together without any of the amount work from you, without any big effort from you to configure, to set up it, and to start working. And last point here, but not as the last by importance, it is the security and compliance stuff. You know, in our age, questions about security and compliances, it is very painful and not all ready for that. And when we're talking about AI, we really change focusing on the business needs, business requirements, goals from the clients, and sometimes we have forgot about the security because we can, trust all of our data to the AI model, but we can really forget about that we need to protect AI model. We need to protect our system from, for example, prompt injection. So we can thieves information from different users, from different, tenant, and so on. Next point, that we are storing information in our system. Our model can use this data for training, yeah, and somehow hackers can steal this information. But when we're talking about Azure AI and Azure services, we can trust it. We know that Azure covers these points and provides you level of the trust. So Azure tell us that we are compliant by this point, HIPAA, um, GDPR, and so on, and we can trust that our data will not be stolen by somebody, by somehow. So it is a really secure and really legal for using, and we can, our clients can trust this product, this system, because we have this trust from the Azure. So it is a really points that describes how Azure helps you and why we need to choose Azure AI services. And here you can see few services. First of them, and really close to me because it is maybe first project where I start use Azure bot services and cognitive services. Is my introduction to Azure maybe. And you can see that Azure bot services can handle a lot of the things. So we can configure conversation with the bot service plus cognitive services by different channels, and user can send different type of the inputs. So it can be text, it can be speech, it can be image, and by the different channels. So it is a Skype, Slack, Messenger, web, some Teams, and so on. And we have here integration bot service plus cognitive service, and you can prepare very strongly assistant, for example, for customer supports. So you can prepare manual about questions answers, use question answers maker bot service, and you have, first level of for supporting your customers. So it is really helpful and easy to do and easy to configuration. And you are just focusing on business needs here, and you don't need to care about infrastructure. You don't need to care about some around non-functionality stuff for your feature for your goals here. Next one, it is a search, Azure Search. It's a really cool thing that you can prepare different type of the data structure and structure by the pipelines, yeah, and you can provide ability to search by all of them, by different type of the data in the one place. It is a really helpful and nice tool here. And it is not the all. You can see here a lot of different cognitive services, computer vision, face API, speech service, and so on. And one of the services is a face API. Really impressed me. We have a project, and we try to compare when we choose AI service from the Azure. It is a face API and face identity. So our task or our feature was being identify or find images from the some event. For example, it can be team building, it can be some event, I don't know. And we have a lot of the images from this event. And we want to see only me on this list images. And our feature here that you can take a picture yourself. Of course, before admin or moderator uploads all of the images in the system, Azure will process all of these images and ready to provide images where you are. And so you can take a selfie, yeah, or you can take a picture somebody, send the image to the Azure Face API cognitive service, and you receive some identifier of the person, and by this identifier you can get list of the images with some similarity. So you can set up level of the similarity. So what is the me or pretty similar to me, and this service will return all of the list images with the you. So we are doing this project with Azure AI services, and we are trying to do that without this service. We try to do it with using vectors and similarity of the vectors by identifying points of the face. It is a pretty simple task here to identify the person, but big challenge for us was it is a amount of the images. When we're talking about one or two comparing, it is not a big deal. It is not some stressful for the system. But when we try to verify, when we try to check as a big amount of the vectors, it is really hard to system. So we need to provide resources, big amount of the resources. It is a memory, it is a CPU for calculation, for comparing these vectors. And we found that time for development and price of the hosting our own services and pricing from the Azure. And Azure was being better for all the points. So it is a really helpful here. But today our focus about Azure AI document intelligence and processing the documents. We have a lot of the services from the Azure that can analyze the text, can analyze the images, documents, but this service really is focusing on the documents. And when I'm talking about documents, can be different type of the information. It can be receipt, invoice, and so on. And in this service, we have three maybe major, for me, major points. It is a document analysis. So this service can extract key data, extract important data from the document, structure and structure with a different type of the data inside this document. So it can be tables, checkbox, different dips, objects, and so on. Next point, that this service has pre-built models, and these pre-built models designed and trained for identifying, for retrieval information from different type of the documents. Again, it is a SaaS solution here that you can just start use it without any additional configuration, training, and so on. But of course, our customers and clients can have a different type of the document, and pre-built models cannot extract this data from this document. And in this case, we can customize it. So we can customize and create our own model inside this document intelligence for our needs, for specific data, for specific documents. It can be different layouts, it can be different forms, it can be different labels, and we can customize it. And a little bit more about pre-built models. It is a not all list here. It is a very, popular and major documents that can be processed by this service. First, it is an invoice. So invoice information, it is information about amounts, the prices, some different calculations, and we in this slide I want to share you information how we can start use it. What is the business needs can be really relative to this service, to these models. So, and you can explain your customers, your clients, your project that if you have some invoices, you can use this service, and you can see that you can automate a lot of the processes. So you can automate tax process, accounting, reporting stuff by the easy way. The same receipt, the same here. So you can optimize merchandise, you can optimize reporting stuff, taxing stuff, accounting stuff. It is a really similar documents, invoice, receipt. But when we're talking about identity, it is identity documents. So if your project, your business needs for identifying that this person, it is this person, you can do that by this service, by this model. So you can identify and extract data from the identity document, and tell in system can understand that this person in this document, it is the same, and you can optimize process for hotel registration. So check-in process can be automated, so you don't need to spend more time on it. And when you need to trust, your system should trust to the clients in this system, you can use this model for identifying persons. Next point is more difficult. Next model, sorry, it's more difficult because health insurance, healthy documents, it is a big amount list of the different types of the documents. So for this model, of course, it is covering a lot of the documents, but we need to understand that in your case it can be pretty hard to integrate. You cannot automate full processes, but anyway you can extract a lot of the information, and this model can be start point for integration AI in your project. And last one, it is a really not a big deal to extract, to return data from the credit or debit card. But anyway, this model provide this feature as well. Next point about next slide about customization and what we can do if we need to customize your model. We need to use service, AI for custom documents. So when Azure AI document detailers cannot process this document, what we can do? And we can prepare our own model for my specific data, for my specific documents by the different ways. Here we have three ways. First, it is a custom template. So if your data really structured or semi-structured, but you know that this structure will be like that, and it is a really easy to labeling, easy to taking your document, and you can prepare this template, and you can tell Azure AI document attachers for processing this type of the document by this template, and you can configure key, or yes, it is a key keys for different type of the data that should be extracted from this document. Next way for customization, it is a custom neural. It is a hardest way because you need to prepare more data than template. You need to prepare more data. You should provide more examples, and you need to spend more time on that. Also, price of the training this model will be bigger than prepared template. But this way, this custom neural really will help you if you understand that your data can be a little bit different from document to document. So you understand that you cannot prepare just a template and expect that all the documents will be by this template. So in this case, by this model, by this way, you can create more stable and more different type of the document. Pretty the same, but different, And I believe you understand me what I mean here. And last one, it is really helpful by when you understand that few models together can cover all of your documents. So you can compose your models together and build, one way for processing different types of documents in your system by the one way, and you know that all of them will be processed. So you can customize by composing. And it is again pretty cool that you can do that, you can customize it, and you can use it by this way. But when we're talking about AI, we really need to understand that we cannot just provide AI without infrastructure around the AI models. And here I will try to explain one of my pet projects that covers a lot of the business case in my previous project as well. So it is a pipeline architecture. It is a combination from the different types of the patterns. It is a event-driven pattern, some serverless approach, for processing step by step some business flows. So you can imagine that you have one engine or one component, whatever. It can be some inputs, it can be entry point that will be start of your processing. And this component will process information by somehow, and output of these components will be input to another one. And we can start another step of our business. And we will proceed by somehow, and again, output from one component will be input to another one. It is an event-driven architecture. It is, of course, but you need to understand here that we have not only one event, we have chain of the events together, and we have one pipeline, we have one flow for processing this document, for example. This document by one pipeline with a different type of the actions inside. So each component will proceed by some how inside each of them. And here, of course, better if we use serverless approach as well. So each of the components will be serverless. What is a serverless? We have, when we choose serverless, we have features, benefits, and challenges. From the features and benefits, serverless and event-driven together, it's pretty good. Next point, it is the auto-scaling. So when we choose serverless, we know that we can scale and create a lot of the instances of this component as we need, as you wish, for your processing, for your business needs here. And of course, this auto scaling is cost efficient. So we know that we will create these instances when we need it, and we will shut down all of them if we don't use it. Next point, operational efficiency. So we can trust that we will not lose any of the information, because we don't trust of the state, and we isolate in this component, in this serverless component engine, one type of the operations, one type of the processing chain here. But on other hands, we have challenges. And first of them, it is a cold start. So if this component doesn't start a lot of the time before, for example, users don't send documents into the system. And in our case, Azure function is not running a lot of the time ago. And when we start first time start this process, starting of the Azure function will take some time. And this time is biggest than usual, when this function is running up. And we need to understand that this case in place, and we need to handle it, or we know that we have this behavior. So we need to understand. Next point is the vendor locking. Pretty hard to migrate Azure functions to AWS or GCP, because we have service bus triggers, we have blob triggers, and it's really hard to migrate without changes of the code, because we are focusing on the business code, and we can migrate this business code. But in case of the Azure functions and blob triggers, we need to rewrite infrastructure around this code, because when we're talking about, a 3 bucket we need to prepare Lambda for triggering on this type of the event. So we need to understand that this component, this code, is pretty hard to migrate. And next point, it is a complexity in monitoring and debugging. And it is not more about serverless approach, but it is more about chaining and pretty hard to debug and monitor it on locally when you deployment when you development, because you can easy to run one component and debug it, but when you try to start all the components, it is pretty hard to up all of them, collect logs, collect information, debug, and so on. So it is a challenge. It is not a blocker. It is not a big problem, but it is a challenge. It is a, sometimes it is a pretty can be hard. And examples, serverless, it is a RESTful API when we don't have any state, real-time stream processing when we don't have a state and we process in each stream, each chain of the stream, and so on. And moving forward to my pet project, it is a architect diagram with a list of the services from the Azure that I used. So we have app service for API. So it is our entry point. It is a API for uploading documents and for management stuff around these documents, set up some business requirements, business rules for processing, and so on. We have storage. It is a Cosmos DB. Cosmos DB is grateful service. I believe that we have a lot of the events sessions about the service, and it is truly nice. Next one. It is a blobs. So it is a physical storage of our project of our documents. Sorry, we have three functions for recognition, for extracting data from the document. It is the EI part here. We have processing. So it is a really business core. So this service will process information, will process data from the documents, from the business requirements, business rules, and return information, how we should calculate, how we should combine, how we should understand what's going on in this document. And last one, store result engine. It can be different type of the results. We cannot recognize document, we cannot recognize an image, we cannot process this document by business rules, and we need to store this result in the storage in the Cosmos DB. Also, here can be different type of the notifications, some alerts, and so on. Also, we have service bus, queues, and topics here because we can have different type of the results. And of course, AI document intelligence for extracting data, for analyzing the document and returning information data from this document. And how it works. And it is a description of this pipeline. So we have first action, it is a create a blob, uploading physical file in the blob, account storage. Recognition engine, our function, will be triggered on this blob, and we have stream of the blob, and we can process. And in our case, we will send to a request to AI document intelligence, will return some information about this document, key data, extracted data, and we will send, we can, of course, map somehow this result from the AI document intelligence by inside our model, inside our data transfer object, and we can send result of the processing in the queue. Processing invoice engine, again, trigger on the message and process it. This function can upload additional information or can get additional information about business rules, business needs inside from the different type of the sources, databases, I don't know, cache and so on, and will process, calculate somehow, and send result of this processing to topics, and store result triggered by this topic, and will store result in different data source. In our case, it is a Cosmos DB, and can notify by different type of the channels. Again, it can be webhook, it can be email, and so on. How in whatever. And it is pretty simple pipeline, simple flow of the processing one document. And you can see that we can store a lot of the documents in the blobs. And we know that recognition engine, processing invoice will scale as needed, and as documents will be uploaded. Of course, we can limit scale rules for all of them by different rules. For example, we don't need to scale a lot of the instances, because Azure AI Intelligence documents cannot persist in the parallel a lot of the requests. So we can limit it here, and we can trust it, and we'll get a successful result here. And what are the benefits and really helpful we have from this architecture, from these pipelines, that you don't need to process it again, and you don't need to change your pipeline somehow if you need to skip some steps. In this project, in this case, it is a really simple case when you don't need to recognize data, extract data from the document again, because you did it. Your system did it. So you can reuse this information again if you want to recalculate, if you want to reprocess this data by the different type of the requirements, So you can update some business rules and send information about this document, about what exactly is changed, for example, to the queue, and previous pipeline will work as usual, because this processing invoice engine is listening this queue. And in this case, API, our app service, will send event here, send a message here, and it is just skipping these steps. So we don't need to upload, we don't need to recognize, because we did it. And we just start next or another type of the processing this data. It's pretty cool and pretty clear, and you don't need to change your flows, your pipelines by some different rules. You need to understand, okay, we extracted data, so we don't need to end. It will produce a lot of the if else and so on. So this approach will help you, will assist you to be simple in each component. It's pretty helpful. And of course, when we're talking about business, clients, customers, we need to understand what are the possibilities, what is the performance, what is the count of documents we can proceed, and price for that. And it is again, it is a price for processing documents per month in this system. Unfortunately, I didn't put all services. I mean, logs, metrics, some infrastructure around this architecture, and this price for all of them together. And you can see that when we don't use the system, we spend some money for storage. For it is a fixed price for the resources. But when you start to use this system and upload a lot of the documents in the system, you can see that price is increasing and increasing pretty fast. But around this peak, we just change level of the subscription, level of the using our system, Documents Intelligence. And after this point, you can see that increasing price is pretty linear and pretty expectable. And you can show your clients, customers, that count of the documents and price for the processing. And I want to mention here, of course, when we're talking about documents, 100s and more than, I believe, 517, around this one. It is pretty high cost for that, but we didn't spend any cent of the creating models and AI components. We just start to use it, and it is a pretty cool and really helpful tools, services from the Azure for startups, for some, POC, MVP stuff. When you try to touch this business, we can automate it or not. We can use this AI here or not. And you can just try to do that without big investment here on the preparing data set, on the preparing models, on the training the models, and so on. Of course, your own models will be cheaper from the hosting perspective, I mean, but for startups, again, for MVP, it can be really helpful and can be really great choose for starting, for show the world your idea. So I think we clear here. And in summarize, I want to say that Azure AI services provides really good toolkit for creating AI solutions from the scratch. You don't need to care about a lot of the stuff. Azure provides good documentations about services and so on. In case customization, again, Azure provides machine learning, machine MLOps, pipelines, ETL pipelines, and so on. So when you choose AI and you want to integrate it, Azure really, really good choice here, and provides a lot of the information, a lot of the tools for supporting, for development. Next point about pipeline architecture, event-driven architectures. So you saw that creating this pipeline, this flow, pretty cool that you can separate some process, encapsulate this process, and you can, trigger each of them as you need. So if you need to skip something, you can skip it. And it is a it is really ideal solution in the linear processing and linear flows of your business processing. And last one, serverless approach and serverless services, really helpful for creating stable and really good performance solutions without any additional infrastructure coding. So you don't need to care about difficult load balance, difficult rules for scaling. Azure provides you infrastructure around your code, so you can focus on your code, on your business needs, on your requirements, and write code for business. And you don't need to care about non-functionality stuff. You don't need to care about infrastructure stuff. It is, again, pretty cool and pretty good solutions, good service from the Azure. And that's all from me. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attention. I will check a chat if we have some questions, and I don't see anyone.
Thank you again. Thank you. Have a nice presentation. I think there is no any comment, but if other guys have a question, maybe in the future watch the video. Can connect with you on the LinkedIn and ask
Yes.
more about your presentation.
Yes, if you want, you can send me directly message and we'll discuss it because it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, thank you. We can close this live, and thank you again, Michael.
Thank you.